All right, welcome everyone, welcome. We're live a little bit earlier than usual, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone's getting the notifications. But yeah, I can't wait to do the stream, so... You guys liking the music? It's pretty good. Drinking my Diet Coke. All right. Okie dokie 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 dokie. Let's get things started. Let's bring the music down a little bit. Alright, can everyone hear me? Hey, what's up, Joe? What's up, my man? Nice to see you, nice to see you. Oh, okay, I see more people coming in now. Okay, awesome, awesome. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I know it's early, guys, I know. Hey, do nothing, what's up? What's up, what's up? Someone sounds excited. Make sure you guys hit that like button as you're coming in. All right, let's begin. Let's just begin. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So tonight we're gonna be talking about yet another potential AI infrastructure data center play. Okay, but this one specifically has completely pivoted and shifted their entire core business model from being a crypto miner and into an AI data center, an AI infrastructure company. All right, and I think this is a pretty interesting development because, like I've said before, when I talked about IREN on Monday, right? IREN, ticker symbol IREN, or even just all the other hybrid businesses out there that are doing crypto mining and AI data center. Well, they're leasing the power out to bigger companies, or the power that they're not using to mine crypto. Those companies, right, are still hybrid. And I mentioned on Monday night that it might actually be better to pivot to a completely new company, which is going to be an AI infrastructure or data center company. But I've also outlined the risks of doing that, right? As companies have to leverage a lot of debt in order to grow the company and in order to satisfy the demand or demands from the deals that they're looking to make with the other bigger tech companies that require the power capacity that these companies have or plan to have in the near-term future. Is all that making sense? All right, I'm just basically combining what I've just stated in Monday's stream, right, to what I'm trying to explain to you guys tonight. Okay, so based on that knowledge alone, okay, to me it makes sense that in order for these companies to become potential leaders in the AI infrastructure industry, again, there's a plethora of companies that are trying to get involved in this industry, this specific industry, and trying to become a leader. I think in order to, again, become a leader, I think a lot of companies have to just pivot. They just straight up have to pivot into an AI infrastructure / data center name. And guess what? this ticker that we're looking at tonight has done exactly that. They have completely rebranded their entire company. All right, they're seeing that there is a lot of opportunity here, a lot of lucrative opportunities, like I've explained in Monday's stream, right? And this company seems to be on the cusp of making big deals, right, with other big tech companies that require the power and the high performance computing data and even just storage options as well, right? But we'll go into that in the next, or in the next stream, maybe next week or maybe on Friday night. But when it comes to building out AI data centers and just the overall AI infrastructure, this company has realized that the crypto mining business is kind of dead. Okay, and even though that it may sound a little bit harsh, I think it's something that I think it's something that you guys should be focusing on as the years go by, especially as we head into the end of this decade. I think it's also prevalent to be looking at these companies because there's a lot of money involved, right? There's a lot of liquidity in these names. Even if the economy kind of becomes stagnant, or which it is right now, right? We're starting to see the economy actually kind of tapering off now. When we were already in a cooling off period, right? It feels like the economy is going to go a lot lower, right? As in terms of growth. So I think these companies will still get a lot of attention, even if an actual economic contraction or recession sets in, because of the fact that there's just so much money involved. And again, I've kind of described the potential risks of that itself, right? Of the money topic itself. So make sure you guys watch Monday's live stream. But yeah, so Keel here, right? Let's actually go on to the actual topic of tonight. So Keel Infrastructure Corporation, that is their new company brand and name. They don't even have a logo yet, right? But on the thumbnail of this video, this stream, I did put in the previous name, which is BitFarms, right? They're called BitFarms. They're solely a Bitcoin mining company before they rebranded, right? So they're called BitFarms, and that was their original logo as well. That's next to BitFarms, the name BitFarms. If you guys just take a quick look at the thumbnail, okay? So again, I've only wanted to put that thumbnail, that old logo on the thumbnail because again, I don't think a lot of people know what happened to BitFarms. But yeah, BitFarms has turned into a new company with a new name and a new brand called Keel Infrastructure Corporation. Is all this making sense so far? Hopefully, yes. Okay. Now, I do want to quickly go over some of the plans that I've read from this company. So first of all, this company, again, like I said before, has completely pivoted to an AI infrastructure data center build-out company. All right, and what's happening here is that they currently have. So if you guys didn't know, these hybrid AI infrastructure or Bitcoin mining companies, they have a certain amount of power rights, right? And so Keel here specifically owns about 770 megawatts of total power rights. Okay, this is what I read, and you guys can just look this up as well on Google. And so they have yet to fulfill that complete amount of power rights that they have, right? And so in the next, well, I guess next year and a half, including this year, they have plans. Okay, they have plans to fulfill about, I believe it's about around like 470-ish megawatts of power out of the 770 megawatts of power rights that they have, right? And they're looking to, again, fulfill that by building out these massive data centers, okay? And so this is something that I think is going to be possible for them as the AI demand continues and will continue into the end of this decade. And again, if if you guys don't know, right, because I've been living under a rock, literally every single person is using AI now. Even if you don't want to use it, like for example, I try not to use it because again, I like to use my brain. Even if I try to Google something on Google, AI will pop up first because that's what Google has set as default now, right, when you search for something. So I believe it's the Gemini AI system that comes up and pops up right away to answer my question or whatever topic that I look up, right, on Google. So, you know, that in itself is showing that AI is going to be prevalent in our lives every single second of each day. All right. And so this overall demand in data centers is going to continue, right? We're still seeing these mega cap companies, right? These big tech companies still trying to make deals, these large deals with these smaller data center companies, but they're specifically looking at companies that already have an infrastructure, and those specific companies are, well, these Bitcoin mining companies, right? These crypto miners. They already know how to quickly build out these stacks and stacks of GPUs, right, efficiently. And they know how to, you know, do all the electronics, right? The actual connectivity parts of building out these specific miners, right? And so that translates into a better potential turnout towards data centers, right? So again, these large tech companies are in need of power and compute, right? High performance compute specifically, and they need it quickly, right? And so these previously crypto miners companies have that knowledge. So it's absolutely critical for these previous solely only crypto mining companies to turn into AI infrastructure companies. But again, most companies right now, crypto mining companies, are hybrid businesses, right? So they have half, it's not exactly 50-50 ratio, obviously, but generally speaking, half of it is still a crypto mining company or a crypto mining business, and the other half is an AI infrastructure business where they're leasing out the remaining power or the power that they can't use for mining crypto to these big companies, right? But then again, I think in order for leaders to emerge, companies like Keel are doing something very radical, right? And they're completely shifting into becoming an AI data center company. And so if this company now, right, if this company is able to fulfill nearly half, or it's over half, or over half of the 770 megawatts of total power rights that they have until, you know, the end of 2027, right? I believe that's their timeline, all right? There's a good chance that the share price on this company will be reflective of that, which is the reason why I truly believe that this stock could go towards the upper ends of the teens, right? So $16 is the price target that I have for this stock. I know it sounds crazy, right? It's a single digit stock, right? But let me quickly go back to a previous ticker that I've looked over before it was actually in the double-digit share price, and that was APLD. So you guys can actually look up APLD on my channel, and you guys will see that. Okay, so APLD is now a $30+ dollar stock, and we were looking at this. Okay, we were looking at this back when it was in the single digits. Okay, so I made a couple videos on APLD. I have one video and I have another live video as well on APLD. So I have 2 videos in total. So please go watch it. But I made these videos last year. Okay, one was a video, one was a stream. So it's going to be a replay video and one's going to be an actual video. So we were looking at this, right? When it was in the single digits, and we kept on looking at it as it went to double digits. And then eventually, as I've stated in those previous videos, I said APLD probably has a price target of $15. And then as the price continued to go up and up and up and eventually hit $15, I said, well, I think it's gonna go to $25. And guess what? It hit 25, and now it's sitting at over $32 at the close today. So there is a lot of potential here when it comes to AI infrastructure names. Yes, Applied Digital Corp is obviously light years ahead right now. Okay, I mean the share price is completely reflective of that. Even the market cap. Okay, so let me show you here. Yeah, so the market cap is at 9.27 billion, which actually is kind of crazy because if you guys do the math, right? If you guys do the math with the shares outstanding compared to, let's say 9.27 billion, right? Let me actually go back to Keel. Okay, so if you guys do the math, okay, so let's just say a little over 9 billion. How about that, right? If we think that Keel is going to go to about the same valuation as Applied Digital, as ticker symbol APLD. Okay, Keel should be around $15 to $16. Okay, and that's kind of the reason why, the number one reason why I think Keel can go to $16 because, or $15 to $16 if you guys want that range, because again, this is a company that is quickly pivoting and quickly shifted to the current demands that are needed, right, in the actual real world, right? And Bitcoin mining has been pretty expensive to do, and usually most of the time these companies are losing money, right? So with all, it's better for these companies that are losing money on crypto mining crypto. They can actually stop using power that will generate losses and actually use that power to lease out to these bigger companies as AI data centers, right? Or at the very least, high performance computing, right? So, hopefully this is all making sense, by the way, guys. I know I've been kind of yapping on it and blabbering on here. Okay, so I've also read somewhere on an article that I think when I looked this up, I think data centers are based on a growth metric, or from a growth perspective. You can actually add like 15 to 20 million market cap, right, or for the overall valuation per megawatt that the company is able to achieve, right, or at the very least target. And so that 9 billion also makes sense, right? Because if here, let me actually show you guys the math here. So let's see. All right. Okay, yeah. So if you do, let's say they achieved the around 400, let's say 475 megawatts of power out of the 770 megawatts of total power rights that this company has, right? And we divide that by the maximum of that 10 to 20 million per megawatt. Let's divide it by 20. Okay. Oops. Let me see. I'm doing this on my phone here. I'm not used to the new the new calculator app. I recently updated my iOS here, and there it is. Okay, let's just look at the history here. Okay, so yeah, so if we do 4 seconds, let's do that again. Jesus, I feel like an old man here. No, okay. There we go. My God, how many times is it gonna take? Okay, so if I just do 475 megawatts times 20, okay, million per megawatts, that's around 9.5 billion. All right, that's 9.5 billion in valuation, which again, surprisingly, it's similar to APLD, right? At that point, if Keel's able to successfully fulfill that amount of power that it needs, right, with all the all the plans that it has to build these data centers, right? APLD, right? It's 9.27 billion. right? And Keel will be 9.5 billion at that point if they're able to fulfill that by the end of 2027, right? Which is, again, those are their plans. You guys can look that up, right? I'm pretty sure it's like it's around 475 megawatts of power that they're looking to successfully have operating, right, with these data centers. Okay, so, and it's like, again, it's not just one data center. Okay, it's multiple data centers. Okay, I think it's like 2 to 3 if I remember. Okay, so that's kind of the reasoning why I think Keel could be around $15 to $16. So again, if you guys are wondering how I'm doing that math right there, just do the 9.5 billion divided by the shares outstanding, right? And again, just look that up. Just look that up. Okay, all right. Those are easy math to do. Okay. All right. Let's go back to Keel. Anyways, all right. I also want to look at the actual balance sheet for Keel. And surprisingly, all right, well, to my surprise, actually, okay, as already shown, I can't speak today, Jesus. As I've already shown you guys on Monday, these data centers leverage a lot of debt, all right, and so their overall balance sheet and their just the overall financial situation is not too solid, is what I would say, okay. But if you just take a look at Keel here, okay, let's just take a look at their balance sheet. Okay, their balance sheet is not that bad. I mean, look at this. All right, look at the total assets and total liabilities. It's on the right hand corner of your screen here, guys. Okay, look at this: 1.3 billion in total assets, while the liabilities are just 730 million in total liabilities. That's not that bad. Okay, all right. Yes, their income sheet. Yes, their cash flow and stuff. It's not looking too good, all right? But compared to all the other hybrid data centers or overall data center companies out there, they're not doing too bad. Right? It's not too shabby, I would say. Okay, and so I think Keel really has a chance. And if I was able to give APLD a chance back in the day, I think I can give Keel a chance as well. And I think you guys should give this one a chance. I really think that this one has a lot of possibilities. Okay, yet who knows? Maybe it doesn't go to the teens, right? But if it's able to at least go near $10, near the double-digit share price that a lot of companies would love to achieve, especially companies that are penny stocks or just in a single-digit share price number, I'm sure a company like this one could go to that double-digit share price. All right, based on the trajectory that they're going with their current plans, with the multiple data centers that they're looking to build to achieve that amount of megawatts, right, in power, again, around 475, okay, or 470 to 475 is what I've read, okay, out of the 770 total power rights that they have. All right, and again, that's until 2027. All right, and again, that's kind of the same timeline that I had with APLD as well too, right? Because in APLD situation, I was talking about APLD early on into 2025, and then coming to 2026 now, right? We're in the second quarter of 2026 already, and APLD is at 9.57 billion in market cap, right? So or 9.2 billion actually, or something like that, over 9 billion. Okay, so I think again, there's a lot of lucrative liquidity in these tickers, which is the reason why I want to talk about this stock tonight. Okay, so that is my overall perspective. Yes, again, I don't really have any knowledge with the actual tech behind, the optics, the connectivity stuff, the networking stuff, with data centers. I have no clue of anything regarding those specific topics, okay? But I do know from the fundamentals, right, and the numbers, it could work out, right? This could work out, okay? And that brings me into the next topic, which is the technicals, okay? So let's actually take a look at the technical chart here for Keel, right? Keel. Right. So first of all, it looks horrible, right? It does look horrible. Let me first say that. All right. I have to keep it real here. This looks horrible. Okay. However, APLD also looked horrible, mind you. Okay. So I think KEEL here is just starting. All right. I think the fact that it's getting more attention now because of the fact that it was able to shift into completely a 100% data center company compared to all the other peers, right? That are stuck between this kind of wishy-washy 50-50, crypto mining business and AI data center business, right? This company has completely pivoted and shifted to a new business. So I think doing that quicker, right? Then later, like actually, is going to be beneficial for a lot of these crypto mining companies, and I think they can actually have a better return potentially in the next 2 to 3 years. All right, and again, APLD was a very, very good example of that, and even Iron, right? Iron was an actual crypto mining company, but I think if I remember, they've mostly pivoted to data centers, the actual buildup of data centers. So you guys might have to fact check me on that one, but yeah. So Iron was another great example of that as well. Okay, so they're fully, I think, fully focusing on data center build out, just like Keel here. So again, from a technical perspective, it looks horrible. However, if we're just focusing on the last couple of months here, right after this massive move up into the end of 2026 or into quarter 4 2025, okay, had a very nice short squeeze, but then it was just a short squeeze at the end of the day, and eventually everything came back down to earth. But with this move lower, right now, let's actually start doing some technical analysis, which is my forte. Okay, we are seeing this massive macro descending resistance trend line that is officially broken out to the upside, okay, last week, and with some good volume, right? I would obviously say we would need a lot more volume than this, okay, like you guys see here, since again, I would love to see more volume, especially more than the average volume. Unfortunately, that did not happen last week, but a breakout nonetheless. Okay, so this is a very nice breakout out of this massive descending resistance trend line, which highlights that there is, at the very least, short to midterm, in the short to midterm time frame, there is a change. There's a change in trend, right? And this stock potentially is looking to continue to move up higher. Okay, and I love the fact that on the weekly time frame now, the price is over all of my weekly SMAs, all 4 of them, right? The weekly 10, this red line, weekly 21, this light blue line, weekly 50, this dark blue line, and the weekly 200, this yellow line. Okay, and I would have to say though, before this breakout on Keel, it was actually holding the weekly 50 SMA really, really well, right? Usually on penny stocks like this, guys, again, personally for me, from a technical perspective, I've always said that a stock that is $5 or below per share is considered a penny stock. So this to me is a penny stock still, okay? But whenever I see a penny stock making such a great consolidation phase, right, where it's actually staying above a very, very long-term, very massive SMA like the weekly 50 SMA, that tells me something is up. All right, something is actually happening, under the hood, maybe in the company. And guess what? The company was able to pivot into a completely new business model that could be a lot more lucrative compared to crypto mining. And so I think there is a potential re-rate about to occur for this company, just like what we saw with APLD, right? So, well, I don't think APLD was a mining company, a crypto mining company. Actually, maybe I should use Iron as a better example on that. I'm pretty. Oh no, yeah, it was. Okay. I'm good on that fact, right? So Applied Digital and IRIN were both a crypto mining infrastructure company, but now they've completely pivoted into these data center build out companies, right? So they're fully focusing on the entire build out of AI infrastructure for the high performance computing needs, right? That AI needs. So again, I think based on what I've just said earlier, there could be a re-rate happening for KEEL as well, just off of the technicals here, right? If you combine everything that we just learned tonight about KEEL and on the actual technicals here, the fact that the stock was refusing to go down on a weekly 50 SMA, a very major SMA that thousands and thousands of people have their eyes on, I think says something, okay? And yes, in the future, if it goes below the weekly 50 SMA and eventually below the weekly 200 SMA, then forget about it, right? This company isn't going anywhere, anywhere soon, right? And it's most likely going to go back down to, $1, $1.50, or maybe even the cents range, right? Maybe 50 cents, right? It was there before as well, I think. Somewhere in the past, it got very close, like right here, okay? So, even just this initial short squeeze alone, I think could be telling us that previously known as BitFarms, but now Keel, could be the next company that completely shows the market, right? The overall market that there's a reason for a complete re-rate, and the fact that this company has what it takes to gain more market value and market share in this overall AI infrastructure space. Does this make sense? Okay, I see you guys' reactions there. And hey, thank you guys so much for the likes. Awesome. Okay, and yes, the only risk that you guys have to really remember for the, I would say, midterm future, okay? So maybe at least a year or two out from now, is the potential for the AI industry to crumble. So basically a bubble bursting, okay? Maybe due to how expensive it is for companies to power these data centers, right? As utility costs rise, okay? Or maybe even just public backlash reaching a feverish pitch in the midterm future. Who knows? Whatever it could be, right? That will be your actual risk investing into these names, because like I've said on Monday night, if the AI bubble pops, I truly believe these data centers, especially the companies that have completely pivoted to data center build-outs, okay, are going to be the ones that will be affected first. At least one of the first groups to be affected first. And we could be seeing these companies moving down or rapidly moving down in share price if we see them being affected first. Does that make sense? Okay, okay, I see you guys' reactions there. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I just want to make it very, very clear, right? Understand the risks of always going into these, highly leveraged, very fast-paced growing companies, right? They have a lot of velocity, but again, they also have a lot of volatility as well from a technical perspective. I mean, you guys can clearly see that in the last 5 to 6 months alone. Okay, so again, from this weekly perspective, it looks absolutely great. Maybe we could finally form a constructive uptrend. And if we now go down to the daily time frame, things can get even more interesting because, well, KEEL is building out a very nice textbook Momo bull flag. All right. So after its initial breakout last week, it has now consolidated very tightly at the upper ranges of this initial leg up higher, right? This first leg up higher. And in fact, it continued to make higher highs as it consolidated this massive move up, right? So again, this was a very massive move up because again, if you just go back down to the most recent lows, right, and you just go to, let's say, even just I'll just say the consolidation highs, right? This is over 60%. So very, very massive move up. Hey, what's up, guys? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I see, now I see more people joining in. But hey, if you guys are just joining in now, make sure you guys watch the replay. Okay, I've been live for about, let's see, 36 minutes here. I've gone over some very, very crucial information. Like, you guys have to listen to what I've said from the beginning of the stream to now. Okay, so if you guys are just joining in now, make sure you guys stick to the end. All right, and of course, please watch the replay after the stream is done. All right, I've talked about some very critical points to remember when we're talking about these hybrid and completely new data center companies. Okay, so again, like I said here, massive move up. Okay, and this is just a very large move up, right? And the fact that I was able to actually consolidate at these upper ranges of the initial leg up higher clearly states that there is potential for this new uptrend, right, to have some legs, right, to have an actual constructive higher high and higher low uptrend while it rides my short-term SMAs on the daily time frame, which is my daily 10 and daily 21. These are my short-term pairs, right? Obviously, we do have the longer-term pairs on the daily time frame, which is the 50 and the 200, which actually, if I were to potentially give you guys a nice price path, okay, I would want the daily 50 SMA to eventually curl up higher and cross over my 200 SMA, right? So let me actually make this the actual color here so you guys can see what I mean. Okay, make sure it's yellow. Okay, so this is what I want to see. Okay, so the daily 200 SMA should start to flatten out even more, right? Rather than still curling up higher, right? I would want to see it. This is the ideal conditions that we want to see for an actual textbook uptrend to continue. We want the daily 200 SMA here to flatten out, and then the daily 50 to curl up higher and give us that golden crossover that we always want to see from a longer term perspective. And all the while this is happening, right, the price should be way far away, okay, a lot further away from these two SMAs, okay? So in order for this golden crossover to occur, the prices should be around, you know, close to $4, all right? That's exactly where we want to be seeing, well, yeah, around $4 is exactly where we want to see that that golden cross to occur. And obviously the price should continue to ride on top of both of my daily 10 and my daily 21 SMAs. Does that make sense? Yes? Awesome. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, so again, this is kind of what I'm aiming for here, right? Yes, this is a very nice high and tight Momo bull flag, right? There's a lot of momentum behind it, still making higher highs, right? Nice little peak over the flag resistance today. And yes, there is indeed a lot of supply overhead, but with a lot of intraday and daily volume coming in and being injected here, a lot of liquidity here, there's a good chance that we'll be able to easily absorb the supply that is overhead and actually over at $3 right now, right? So it's able to actually close over $3 today, which is a key indication that there could be not a lot of resistance as we're absorbing the supply that currently still exists above $3. Okay, so when it comes to targets, right, obviously that $4 will be a very nice short-term target, okay, midterm, and obviously a very massive move up from the current lows, okay, the previous lows right here, okay. Obviously the official lows was on this daily candlestick, but again, this is the most recent lows is what I'm looking at, okay. So I would say a good range to target, ideally, would be yeah, around 330 to yeah, around here, 370. Right, nice 40-cent range here. Okay, this is probably a good area to start slowly taking some profits if you guys are already in KEEL. Okay. Alright, so that's kind of my overall breakdown that I think you guys should definitely follow. Alright, I really think that you guys should give this one a chance by at least adding it to your watch lists, your respective watch lists. Just like what I said for APLD last year, when APLD was in a single digit share price and obviously a lot lower market valuation. But yeah, I think KEEL has a lot of that potential, just like APLD did, right? And obviously IREN. And if you guys have not watched my IREN live stream from Monday, go to my channel, go to the lives tab, all right, and you guys will see it there immediately, right after this one is uploaded. And again, once the stream is over, it will obviously be uploaded by default by YouTube here. So please watch the beginning of the stream. You guys do not want to miss out what I've said in the stream tonight for KEEL. All right, I've said this for APLD as well back in 2025. So please watch the beginning of the stream all the way up into the end of the stream if you're just joining us now. Please. I'm putting my hands together. I know you guys can see it, but I'm doing it. Okay. Okay, so that is my overall fundamental and technical perspectives on KEEL. Does that make sense, everyone? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if that makes sense. Let me see your guys' thumbs up. Oh, didn't know that you're on fire today. Yes, thumbs up and handshakes. Awesome. Okay, or you guys can just like the stream down below. That's even better. Okay. All right, so again, if you guys do the math correctly, right, Keel, if it does reach around 9.5 billion in valuation, which is again could be achieved once they're able to fulfill the power capacity of about 470 to 475 megawatts, right, with all their data center build out plans that they have currently into I think the end of 2027, if I'm not mistaken. I have to read that again, but if that does occur, right, the 9.5 billion market val shouldn't be too crazy, and that should set KEEL around $15 to $16 per share, right? At least around there. Does that make sense? Okay, obviously the shares outstanding can change, obviously, guys. But these are just my potential numbers that I'm using based on the potential growth that this company could have based on their data center rollouts and buildouts. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so yes, this is all very, very speculative, just based on those numbers alone. But again, even just technical analysis here is speculative in itself, so why not? We can do the same thing with these numbers and just the overall fundamental perspective and view of this company. And obviously, I've also given you guys why I like this company a lot, because again, financially, it looks like they're starting to make things right compared to their peers. Right, their peers are currently struggling, and in huge debt, not to mention the actual interest that they have to pay on top of that debt, that principal amount. But again, all of these companies are doing the same thing. They're leveraging debt to pivot towards the hybrid business model or like this company here specifically, like Keel, they're completely shifting from a crypto mining company into an AI data center company. Okay, so again, I honestly truly believe that the quicker a crypto mining company can become an AI data center company, the better it will be for them. Okay, and obviously we have some very good examples of that, like APLD, right? APLD was honestly one of the strongest leaders out there currently, as a previous crypto mining company that turned into an AI data center company. And obviously we have IREN as well, which if you guys don't know, I did a live stream on Monday night. So please watch that replay as well when you have the time. Okay, and again, IREN looks absolutely amazing. This is one of the tickers that I went over and put in this week's CFO Stream Watch report as well. So if you guys are wondering what the CFO Stream Watch report is, and let me do my little plug here at the end of the stream, make sure you guys look at the description box down below and take a look at that second link. Check out that second link down below, click on it, and you guys will see what the CFO Stream Watch report is about. Okay, so yeah, all right. That's it for tonight, guys. I've done 2 data center companies back to back this week, and I think it's a pretty important thing for me to do, to kind of put these specific tickers in front of your faces this week. Okay, so yeah, do what you want with this information. Okay, the ball's in your court with Wednesday here tonight. So yeah. That's it for tonight, guys. I'll see you guys maybe on Friday night, but most likely next Monday at the same time at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I might just go live a little bit earlier than 8 p.m. just kind of to give everyone a little grace period. Because I know, well, I have been noticing that people come in just like maybe 15 to 20 minutes earlier into the stream, and then they're waiting for a blank screen, right? And then they leave and then they miss it, right? The entire stream. So maybe I'll still put the same time at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11 p.m. Eastern, but maybe I'll just go live a little bit earlier, like I did today and the previous times before as well. And I think that's a better idea, since everyone knows my schedule here for my streams, Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific or 11 p.m. Eastern. So if I go live around like 15 minutes before that, I think people will have a better time sticking around. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. That is it, guys. Have a great rest of your night. And don't forget to hit that like button down below. And obviously, if you guys are new here, and if you guys enjoyed the stream and possibly my other videos that I have on the Charts Focus One channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. But on top of that, once you hit that subscribe button, okay, that red button, the subscribe button, I don't know if it's red anymore. Well, it's black now, or maybe gray. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell as well, because if you hit that notification bell icon, once you hit or after you've hit the subscribe button, you guys will be notified when I am live, and you guys will be notified when I have uploaded a new video. Okay? Alright, have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys maybe Friday, but most likely next week on Monday at the same time. Alright, have a great rest of your night, and good luck tomorrow.